Hi everyone, and welcome to Math 130, Computer Literacy for the Fall 2017 semester. And as you can see, I made the site available. Also, you'll get to see the banner, uh, which is the announcements page. No, I'm not asking you to buy the Hidden Figures t-shirt. I like the t-shirt logo, and I couldn't get that by itself. And the three women who are depicted, based on a true story, and I like the fact that it asked me about my scientific agenda so that we think in terms, ladies and gentlemen, that we are looking at math, even though it's not pure math. We'll be looking at some quantitative reasoning and some quantitative literacy to remind us that this is a computer literacy class and that computers are also based in math. So just make sure, just wanted to let you know. So this is a completely online course. We will never meet. This is the only way we're meeting is online. So make sure that you read the announcement page. You have introductory assignments. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so every time you log in, this is what you're going to see, your announcements page. If we look at the left frames, the CUNY policies, make sure you read through all of those. Ladies and gentlemen, it's extremely important. The CUNY hosts those policies. Just because I'm not going over them doesn't mean that they're not important. You can read these on your own. All right, before we talk about course information, let's look at instructor information. Who am I? Now, some of you might have seen me in the hallways. This is what I look like. And this is a little bio, some personal information as well as professional. And here you have my office number and you have my cell phone. So I prefer that you email or text me. If you have to call, and of course this is my cell phone number, leave a voicemail message detailing and indicating who you are. All right, because you're not the only person. This is not the only class that I teach. I also have my e-portfolio. So you might want to take a look at that. And but this is how you reach me, either more specifically on a cell phone, texting, or emailing. Much more important because remember, I don't take my cell phone in the classroom. I don't take my cell phone to meetings. And even if I did, I wasn't going to respond to anything. So texting is very important. It leaves a paper trail to make sure that I've responded to you. All right, so you know, excuse me. And you also have my email address right here. So there's no way that you can't get a hold of me, ladies and gentlemen. And I do respond as quickly as possible to emails as well as to texts. All right. The textbook for the course. This is what the textbook looks like. And since we don't have, some of you must be aware by now, almost all of you are aware by now, we do not have a bookstore. Many of the CUNY campuses do not have a bookstore. So to make sure that you can get the textbook at a reasonable price, as reasonable as it's ever going to be, and follow the directives. Go to the link, follow the directives. You can download to your iPads, to your phones, whatever it is that you do. See if you can get this as quickly as possible. All right, so let's take a look at course information, what this course is all about. Make sure that you use your Hostos email. There's a lot of information that's coming through the Hostos email, and we cannot give that information to you unless we have your Hostos email. The Gen Ed principles, make sure you read through all of this, the rubrics. Writing intensive, make sure you read through this, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you are going to tell me when you do the evaluation or anything that you're going to say to me, well, there's a lot of writing. Well, yeah, there's a lot of writing because the section is writing intensive. And you will be writing professionally for the rest of your life. If you had seen Hidden Figures or any movie where people are working in an office setting, you will be writing. Okay, so don't sit down there and think that you're not going to be writing and that this is a waste of time. So make sure you read through that. Make sure you go to the orientation video on the writing center. That's very important. What are the student learning outcomes, your learning styles? What do you need to know and have with this course? Okay, what's the expectations in an asynchronous online section? You have to be very disciplined, ladies and gentlemen, and obviously you must have access to the internet. Now, if you're living at home and you don't have access to the internet, then you can't come and tell me you can't do the assignments because you know I'm not going to listen to that. You have access to the CUNY libraries, so if Bronx Community is close to you, then host those. By all means, go to Bronx Community. You are a CUNY student, you have access with your CUNY ID cards to any CUNY campus using their computer or using the library. So make sure you're aware of that. There's a lot of discipline that's involved in this, and so when I ask you to submit your assignments on a particular day, I do expect them to be there. All right, let's go back to course information. And you can see PC requirements, what makes a successful online student, so make sure you go over that. All right, we have the syllabus, and our syllabus topics are over here, so you'll see all of the topics that you're going to be involved with, digital world, how many writing assignments that you're going to have. And remember, this is a writing intensive. 40% of your grade is based on writing. All right, so make sure you're aware of that. The syllabus is right here. You have to download the syllabus. See? Okay, so you download. Again, you have my cell phone number, office number, postos, email address. Okay, everything that's here is also on Blackboard. Some of the material that I'm giving you, I just want to make sure that you understand. Make sure that you log into this site to get your textbook. All right, we're going to talk about the other things in a minute. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so make sure you go over the syllabus, and I just want to go over again with course information. Grading standards, I do expect that you're going to get an A in this class. All of you are intelligent. Follow the instructions, do the assignments. All right. There is no extra credit, so don't ask me for it, and there's no incomplete unless there's pain of death, your death. All right. And you will, for me to even consider an incomplete, you have to have completed all the course requirements, and the only thing left to take is the final exam. All right. So this is what the grades are based on. Formal writing assignments, 10. Your midterm and final are only worth 10% each. You have discussion board, follow-up assignments, e-portfolio, a number of assignments. So asking me for extra credit, excuse me, when 80% of your grade is based on assignments, not going to happen. This is a college level course, so don't ask for any R grade. This is a 100 level course. Math 130 is a 100 level course. All right, assignments. All of your assignments are due on the day and the time that I have posted in assignments, and we're going to go over that in a minute. If I don't see your assignments at the due day and time, you see what the grade is. It's 0, and I don't expect to see any 0 grades. I expect you all to get an A in this class. This is not a hard class. That's your assignments. Then the exams. Then the exams are multiple choice, both the midterm and the final. And you'll see in the assignments page when the exams are scheduled. Sorry, my computer just seems to be a little slow. Multiple choice, there's no makeup exam. If you miss an exam, you see the grade that you get, unless you've got a doctor's note that says that you were close to death, and God forbid that happens. And I want you all healthy. I want you all to enjoy this class and see where you're going with this. Okay, because this is an enjoyable class. I like teaching this class. All right, submitting an assignment, attendance policy. This is very important because this is an online class, so we never meet face to face. All right, anyone who does not submit any assignments at all beyond the introductory assignments within the first 3 weeks of the semester is considered absent. And I don't want to mark you absent, ladies and gentlemen, because I know this is tied to your financial aid. So please make sure that you complete assignments within the first 3 weeks. Speaking of assignments, let's go into assignments. All right, so we have the introductory assignments, and obviously I'm making the site available. This is very late for me to make the site available. I usually have the site available August 7th, but at least this is still done beforehand. All right, you'll see when the midterm exam is, and so notice that this is in advance so that you could see when the midterm exam is scheduled. It's online. Everything is online. We'll talk more about the grades of W in January graduation, and also the date of the final and what's going to be covered on the final exam. And the same thing, what's going to be covered on the midterm and the textbook that you're using, right? The only item that's available for you to see is the introductory. Now, introductory part 1, obviously buy the textbook or get the textbook, download it, whatever it is that you have to do. Get it. You can rent the textbook. You can have e-chapters, whatever it is that's easy. All right? Click into the Am I Ready or Are You Ready video. Okay? I'll click in here. That assignment is due by 11 p.m. Monday, August the 28th. Yeah, that's right, next Monday. All right, and it's very easy. All you have to do is follow the prompts. There's nothing to buy. There's just follow the prompts, follow the directions. You have to submit the certificate. All right, that's why it's in this assignment link. So after you finish the assignment, the tutorial, are you ready? Then you have to take a picture of the certificate and submit it through the assignment link. Okay? And obviously, the tutorial is going to show you how to submit an assignment. Okay? That's part 2. Part 3, the discussion board. There are 2 discussion board topics. I'm going to go into Q&A in a minute. The introduce yourself video. Click in here so you can see my video. And then what I want you to do is post your own video. Tell us the reason you took the course. Of course, your name, your major, the reason you took the course. The way you expect the course to build on your professional image and skills, and anything that you would like to share with the class. All right? And remember, it doesn't have to be formal, dressed formally, no. But what you have to remember is that this video is going to go on your ePortfolio, and other people are going to be looking at this. So one semester, I had one student who was dressed in pajamas. Obviously, that did not go into the student's ePortfolio. We want to look as professional as possible. And again, this is due Monday, August the 28th. Now, don't send me an email asking me how to do a video. You all know how to do videos. You all know how to upload videos. So anyone who has a real serious problem with that, send me an email or post it in the Q&A. I'm going to get to Q&A in a minute. All right? Make sure you respond to each other. That's very important because it's not just uploading the video and that's the end of that. I want you, because you're going to have, once you respond to each other, then you're going to have another assignment where you're going to get to know your teammates, your classmates more thoroughly. Remember, this is an online class, and to get to know people, we have to build a community. So that's why you have my picture. That's why you have my video. That's why I'm making this screencast so that we have this contact with each other. All right. The other discussion board that you have to do is writing or working with numbers. Writing or working with numbers. You are now enrolled in Math 130, which you know to be a writing intensive section. You will also interpret graphs, charts, and tables. In this discussion board forum, please share with your peers in this class your feelings about writing and your feelings about working with numbers. Which of the two do you find easier, or do you find them both difficult? And again, this is not anything that's based in the textbook. This is neither is creating your video is not based on the textbook. So even if you don't have the textbook, after seeing this screencast, you should go right away now to making your video, or going into writing the little essay, or if you want to call it that, responding to the discussion board. And remember, to receive the full credit for the assignment, you must respond to at least one other person's posting, as well as post a response to the discussion board topic. Right? Now, if we look at Q&A, this means, ladies and gentlemen, that some of you work at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's wonderful. I have no problem with that, but I'm not working at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. So somebody in the class is working at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So you post a question. That person may be able to answer you. I am not the sole authority. I will only respond to a Q&A forum if after 24 hours or 48 hours no one has responded and the person needs the answer right away. But obviously, it's going to be 24 hours, especially if you're working at 1, 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning. All right? So please help each other out. Be supportive of each other. It's very, very important that you do that, because this is a collective and online environment, and it's very important for us to create an atmosphere or a community of learners. We're all learning. So let's try to support each other. I am not the only person in the class who knows something. In fact, some of you would know a lot more than I do. In terms of getting different websites that will help with the class. So that would be all very, very good. Okay? So far, ladies and gentlemen, what you have to do in the introductory assignments is buy the textbook, download the textbook, whatever it is that you have to do. Do the Are You Ready or Am I Ready video. That's the tutorial. That's due by August 28th. You're not just looking at the tutorial. You have to upload the certificate so that I know you did this. the discussion board topic, and creating an avatar. And the avatar is this. All right. So every time, and I know that this is tiny, but when you go into the discussion board and you post and you've created an avatar, that picture will always show up. This also helps us, ladies and gentlemen, to get to know each other better because we always see the same face. Excuse me. Now, some of you are going to say to me, well, I'm not comfortable. Remember, the Blackboard is only for this class. It doesn't go out to anybody else. But some of you may still be edgy, and I can understand that. So please create an avatar that represents you. All right. It could be the map of your country. It could be a flower, an animal, maybe your pet doggy, your pet cat, whatever it is that represents you. Ideally, I would like to see your face, and so would your classmates. But especially if you're going to create a video, you're going to have to show yourself. But be that as it may, this site is as safe as it's ever going to be, or as safe as anything is going to be. So I ask you to please consider the fact that you will need to create an avatar, something that's going to identify you as individual and unique in the class. All right? So we understand what we have to do. This is just the first part. This is getting your feet wet. And you'll notice also, ladies and gentlemen, that I post the assignments on Mondays. They're due on Monday, and I post them on Monday. So your assignments are due at 11 p.m. on Monday, but I will post the assignments on Monday morning or maybe Sunday night going into Monday morning, all right, so that you're always in sync, okay? And I just want you to enjoy the class. You will have to work. There's no doubt about it. You will have to work. We're all working. And I wanted us to keep in mind the pioneers, the pioneer women, the women of color. In this particular instance, the movie was Hidden Figures, and it was about 3 African American women. So there'll be an assignment for you to look at different genders and contributions in math and science. So we'll be doing another project like that. But I like us to think about, going beyond just doing math. Certainly, ladies and gentlemen, don't panic when this is not a math class. It's not an official formal math class. All right? So any questions that you have, post it in Q&A. The other thing I want to remind you, in a Q&A with that discussion board, that is only for class assignments. Any personal questions that you have, anything that you do not want your classmates to know about, either text or send me an email. Do not post in Q&A. This is not that place. It's a forum for asking questions about the class. The other thing, when I post your grades, do not ask questions about your grades in Q&A. Send me a text or an email. That is personal. All right, so I want to make sure that you understand that. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to working with each of you, and I want you to enjoy the remainder of the summer before classes start on August the 25th. So enjoy, and welcome to Math 130 Computer Literacy. Thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.